Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be making some cardboard creatures, by which I mean we're going to be making some freestanding little sculptures out of flat pieces of cardboard, but then with a special way of linking the pieces together, we can create a three-dimensional sort of sculpture, an animal that stands on its own, with little legs, but you can also add other stuff. Like here I've got a stegosaurus and I've added some spines using the exact same linking technique. So let's get started. For this project you will need some cardboard, obviously, and some scissors and something to draw with. So a pen or a pencil, whatever. And that's all we'll need. Starting with your piece of cardboard, you're going to draw the shape of your animal. So the first part you're going to draw is their body, their head, but not their legs. That's important. So you'll see here as I draw the body of my lion, I'm going to make a lion, I think. I haven't put any legs, just an empty space there, just the belly along the bottom, because we're going to make the legs separately. So unfortunately you can't quite see it here, but I'm going to draw the legs down at the bottom of my piece of card because there's a nice straight edge, and that's going to be where the feet are. It's really good if there's a straight edge along where the feet hit the ground. That will help it stay up a bit more stably. So because my cardboard had that nice straight edge along there, that's where I put the feet. Okay, so you've got your outlines. Make them nice and simple because now we're going to have to cut them out. So some tips for cutting out of a big piece of cardboard. Don't go for the exact shape straight away. Instead, cut around it. This way, it doesn't matter if you go a bit off the edge. You're just cutting out the basic shape. Make sure you're holding your scissors really well, really strongly. And then you're going to need to cut along that straight line to get those nice straight edges for our feet. This is a better view. You can see that the feet and the legs are kind of like semicircles, big long semicircles. Then I'm going to cut out the different parts separately. So I'll break them up into bits. Again, I'm not even going up to the line yet. I'm just making my life easier by cutting out rough shapes around what I'm going to cut. Now I can go in up next to the edge. Try and do nice, wide, slow cuts. And then for these little fiddly bits, you don't need to do it all in one go. You can cut it out in little pieces, just getting closer and closer to your line each time. Cardboard might bend and fold a little bit, but we can always flatten it out again. Okay. Once all your pieces are cut out into separate bits, and if you're looking closely you might notice that I changed my mind about the legs, so I noticed when I put them next to it they were too small, so here we go. I've made some longer legs with little feet as well, but they're still that semicircle kind of arch shape. What I need to do to add them to my shape is cut a little slit into the top of that arch. So how I do that is I do one cut, not all the way through, we're not slipping it in half, one cut, and then right next to that, another cut. Now, depending on how thick your cardboard is, you might need to make these cuts a little bit further away from each other, but basically start with them really, really close. Pull out that little slip of cardboard that you get from that cut, and then you're going to do the same, so two little cuts right next to each other, not all the way through, where you're going to want to attach those legs. So I've obviously got one at the front of my lion and one towards the back of my lion. Two little cuts, pull out the sliver, the tiny sliver of cardboard, and then they just slot together really neatly. Do that again with the other one. There we go. And hopefully it'll stand up. Just going to quickly show you this join again. So where the two gaps are, the two little slits, that's where we ease them together. Now, what you can do, because they can come out and off, they're not glued, you can now add some details. So using your pen or pencil, you can add something and then just put the parts together again. So I've added a face to my lion, and I also decided I wanted it to be a male lion, a boy lion, so I made a mane, and you can slot that on just exactly the same way as the legs. And this way you can make all sorts of different animals, just adding parts and taking them off. There we go. I hope you have loads of fun creating your own freestanding sculptures, and I'll see you later.